My husband said, I want the divorce on Tuesday, and don't make it weird with my friends. I said, okay. Then I married his best friend on Wednesday. I'm 31. Dean and I had been married 4 years when he told me over a Sunday sandwich. He said it plain, between bites, like he was reading off a receipt. I've been thinking, and I think we should get divorced. I already called a lawyer. We can sign Tuesday. I set my fork down. The crust of his bread was untouched. He always left the crust. Tuesday? Yeah, I cleared my afternoon. It's mostly paperwork. I asked if there was someone else. He said no. He just hadn't felt it in a long time. And that honestly I should have noticed by now. Then he said the part I keep coming back to. The group is going to make it weird, so do me a favor and don't turn it into drama. They're my friends. You kind of came in through me. I had known every one of them for 4 years. I threw their birthday parties. I drove Owen to the emergency room the night his appendix burst, and sat in the waiting room until 4 in the morning. I made the soup when Ruweri's father died. But to Dean, they were his property, and I was a house guest who had stayed too long. I said, okay. He looked relieved. He patted my hand like I had agreed to move a dinner reservation. That weekend he packed his half of the apartment. He told me to keep the couch because it didn't fit his new place anyway. He kept the good knives. He took the dog to his mother Sky's until things settle, and never brought her back. He texted me a list of which friends he was keeping and which ones I was still allowed to talk to, like he was splitting a record collection. Tuesday came. Dean brought Owen to the signing for support, meaning his own. Owen sat in the hallway looking like he wanted to be anywhere else. We signed. Dean was cheerful about it. He thanked the lawyer on the way out for making it painless. In the parking lot, he checked his phone, smiled at something on it, and said he had to run. He had plans. He asked Owen to drive me home. He handed me off, like a coat he was done wearing. I got into Owen's car. We sat a second. He didn't start the engine. Then Owen said, I have to tell you something, and I should have said it a long time ago. He told me Dean had been seeing someone for months. Her name was Iris. He'd met her at a conference in June. He told me Dean had joked about the divorce at poker, called the marriage a bad investment he was trimming, and that the guys had laughed along. He told me he had hated watching it. Then he said the rest, quietly, that he had thought about me for longer than a best friend should admit out loud, and had kept his mouth shut for Dean's sake. I didn't say anything for a minute. I watched a woman across the lot loading groceries into her trunk. Then I asked him if he was free Wednesday. He looked at me. Then he nodded, slow, like he was deciding something. Wednesday afternoon we went to the courthouse. No party, no guests, except Owen's sister Marley, who stood as our witness and cried the good kind of crying. The clerk asked if we were sure. We both said yes at the same time. It was fast and it was real, and I knew exactly what I was doing, and so did he. We weren't getting back at anyone. We were two people who had been standing next to each other for 4 years, and finally turned to look. Owen called Dean himself afterward and told him straight. By Thursday morning, Dean was calling me. I let the first one ring out. Then I answered the second, calm, the way you answer a stranger. Hey Dean, you married Owen? On a Wednesday? You said Tuesday was for the divorce. Wednesday was open. He's my best friend, since we were 9 years old. I know. You told me they were your friends. I only kept one. He started yelling about loyalty, about how everyone would see it as a revenge stunt. I let him finish. Dean, I said, you sat there with a sandwich in your hand and told me 4 years was a bad investment. You handed me off in a parking lot because you had a date that night. I didn't take anything. You said it on the curb. He went quiet. Then he tried a different angle. The guys are on my side. Nobody is going to talk to you again. That's fine, I said. I married the only one I wanted to talk to. He showed up at Owen's place that evening, our place now, banging on the door like he still had a claim to something behind it. Owen opened it. Dean stood in the hallway looking at Owen, then at me, then at the ring on my hand. How long has this been going on behind my back? Owen didn't get loud. Nothing was going on. You divorced your wife